Men on YouTube have been obsessed with me for a while now. They've attacked me to such a degree that it would be easier to name things that they were not upset with that did not matter. When I think of how obsessed they are with my physical appearance, I always remember a conversation I had with one of my teachers from when I was in my senior year of high school. I mentioned that I thought it was strange that many of my female classmates would get their hair done when I personally considered their hair to be fine as it were. Her response was to tell me that as a male, I am not held to the same standards of beauty that they are, which includes having people make harsh assessments of my physical appearance or trying to constantly demean me for it. If only she could see how these boys behave nowadays. In 2017, a weird person I've never seen before or since wrote, "Hey Justin, you damn near wear the same shirt every video. I see you changed it today, but what's the deal with that?" I thought the comment was very bizarre because, as far as I was aware, there was nothing listed in the YouTube guidelines about needing to have different attire for various videos, and questions and observations like those espoused in this comment have nothing to do with the plot of the video. This week, another person showed up and wrote something about it, and this one is so unhinged that he crossed out his own comment. Too bad he didn't conclude by deleting it. Drive-by typer number 0 writes, "Why have you been wearing the same thing for at least a year every damn day? The gloves, the glasses that are never on your eyes but always on your head. It's unreal, honestly, like every video thumbnail is the same. You used to dress normal back in the before times." So I've answered the wearing the same thing every day myth before. When I was younger and just starting out on YouTube, I was not as organized as I am now. I would record a new video every day to coincide with the news, and this would oftentimes force me into uncomfortable positions, such as having to hang up on someone or go into another room to meet a quota of trying to catch some story that had just come out. But now I like to do 2 streams a week and record 3 to 4 videos over the weekend that I can put up as the week progresses. So if I'm recording multiple videos back to back, I'm probably not going to change my attire for that purpose. Also, I wear glasses every day because I need them to drive and or perform other tasks in which my impaired vision might affect me in a negative manner. So if I'm going to record a video and I don't want them to reflect on the camera, I would just place them on the top of my head because I'm going to go back to wearing them after my recordings for the day are finished. And I'm not going to make custom thumbnails for videos that usually don't even get 30 views. It's not worth it. It's commonplace for people, especially those online, to get caught up on things that don't matter or are not very important. I know for a fact that most people couldn't care less about my attire since only a handful of these faceless users have left a comment in regard to this. But what I find most disturbing is how they can rationalize this to be of some significance that is greater than the subject matter discussed. The video he chose to leave this comment on was about a mass shooting in which an insane person murdered multiple people for no reason. So what I wear or my thumbnail is more important to him than innocent people dying because of someone else's evil. I watch a lot of other channels that cover the news, and on some of them I've left dozens of comments. And on these other channels that I watch, and this includes the ones that don't cover the news, I have never made disparaging comments or had anything to say about the attire or physical appearance of the person in general speaking in the video. And the reason for that is because it's simply irrelevant to what appeals to me about watching these various channels. They're not supermodels or people who work in some other profession that are centered around physical appearance. They talk about the news, and that's why I enjoy them. I just wish I could be given the same courtesy. There are many things that I share with my subscribers. I've made it clear that I am unemployed. I've also made it clear that oftentimes I get demonetized for certain terms or words that are included in some of my recordings. This sometimes can just be mentioning the name of a country or person that the YouTube system finds offensive. And I don't mention any of this to elicit sympathy or to get someone to send a super chat or for any other motive than to provide an explanation. If I don't make an edited video every week, it might be because I have to take my computer, the only one I have, to a shop to get it fixed. If I don't make an hour-long video, it might be because I don't have enough space on my computer for that to be possible. And many of the channels I watch, like Secular Talker Jimmy Dore, for example, have 900,000 subscribers or 1 million. The financial revenue they gain from this large subscriber base, allowing them to both hire people to perform certain tasks for them, like make thumbnails and buy however many clothes they like. I am nowhere near that size and thus do not have that luxury. Going back to this person, he expects an unemployed individual who barely makes anything off of YouTube to be able to go out and buy a bunch of different outfits to satisfy his desire for different thumbnails so that he might stop complaining and start watching. I said before that men online create these impressions of what they think I'm supposed to be, and when I'm unable to live up to their unrealistic fantasy, they lash out. The way these comments are written, one can get the impression that wearing the same thing every day, which I already debunked the myth of, is supposed to be a bad thing that would turn him off as a viewer. But notice that he stuck around long enough to stare and gawk at a bunch of thumbnails and leave a comment on my video instead of just going away if he was so disgusted by my choices. My best friend told me that men online see themselves toward me in the same way that a woman who thinks she can change a man sees herself. The idea that they can fix this person if they stick around and try to convince them to change, only for it to not actually work. It was some time ago that I cracked a code as to how many of these accounts that leave weird comments tend to follow the same pattern. It's always some person who hides their face, operating on a worthless channel with no videos, who has never posted anything on mine before leaving this trash. And I mentioned the faceless part being a recurring theme among these detractors, because many of the people who write nasty things to me that are not directed toward my actual opinions on subjects tend to not show themselves, as they try to look down on me and imply themselves as being my superior. As far as this demon is concerned, I would love for you to take your computer or phone that you use to write useless comments like this and actually make content every day, and we'll see how many different outfits you have to impress people with. But of course you won't do that because it's easier to hide and write nasty things to people than put yourself out there and endure their never-ending, needlessly nasty attacks. By the way, when you attack someone over everything, it becomes difficult to take you seriously on anything because satisfying you is confirmed as impossible. If I have proof that I have been attacked when I recorded multiple videos a week and thus showed different parts of my attire, why would I then believe I should wear different things if it still doesn't guarantee I won't get attacked over my attire in the future? I've always thought of myself as an insignificant person, and what I mean by that is, while I'm not ashamed of my record, I certainly would consider my accomplishments of a lower importance than a public figure like a musician, an actor, a director, a writer, or a politician. But when I see the way that these boys react to me online, be it writing paragraphs about my love life, stealing my videos and pretending to be me, or obsessing over my attire as though they view me as a model or fashion icon, they make it very apparent that they just can't forget about me. I could get less than 20 views on a video, or less than 5 people watching a live stream, and one of them is still likely to make an appearance, and I direct this toward him and every other parasite that has an issue with my physical appearance. If you don't like my face, or my spectacles, or my dressing sense, or the fact I'm a man of modest means, then do us all a favor and watch someone else. But of course you won't do this because you're obsessed with me.